Craig here, and this is Your Marketing Makeover, where I answer your questions to help you captivate, fascinate, and dominate your market. Today's question comes from Karen. She says, I have a booth at an upcoming trade show, and I want to give something away with good information. Costs a lot to print my brochures, and I'm on a tight budget. Any suggestions? Thanks, Karen, and I'm really glad you're getting out and doing some trade shows because they are a great way to increase visibility in your community, or if you're going outside of your community in a new area as well. So congratulations on doing a trade show. A couple of things, first of all, before I get into what you're going to give away. When you decide to do a trade show, make sure that you know how many people are supposed to be coming through the doors, how many people are attending, how many other vendors. Of course, you've got to know your hours and everything else. And I could do several episodes of Your Marketing Makeover on trade show etiquette and working your booth. And I will be doing more in the future. But you really want to make sure that you're in the right place, that your ideal clients are going to be coming in. And yes, you've got to interact and have something as a takeaway. So I'm glad that you're thinking about this in advance. Brochures are expensive, especially if you've got glossy covered brochures. So many of them just end up in the trash that it's not worth spending the money on great brochures to hand out if they're not going to be read. What I really love are postcards. Postcards are fabulous for a lot of different reasons, and they are so inexpensive, completely cost effective in getting a little bit of information out, and you always have to have one objective. Now, in my opinion, when you're doing a postcard, your one objective should be to drive traffic to your website. Continually in any of your marketing, whether it's print, online, and other places other than your website, your goal should be to drive traffic back to your website. So what I like about postcards, and I'm talking, you can do a smaller 4x6 size or a larger 5x7 format, or you can actually take 3 out on a piece of paper. If you think of an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, turn it so that it's landscape, and you can have 3 columns. And if those were printed on cardstock, good quality cardstock, front and back, again, you can have some great information. So postcards can come in different forms, different shapes as well. It depends on your budget. But if you're talking about just getting something that you can hand to them, make sure that it is captivating. That is what you want to do. You want to captivate your audience so that they are fascinated and will go to your website so that they can get some more information. What I've done on some of my postcards, on one side have just an interesting visual background with just my web address on it, so that it has just the domain name for my website. And people are kind of intrigued. And then on the other side, give them some good information so hopefully they will keep it. I have done it in different ways. Sometimes I've included 3 tips to help them connect. Make a connection or make a good first impression, and then to get all of the rest of the tips to go to my website. So 3 tips to connect and make a great impression, and then go to my website and get the 44 tips to make the great impression. They would go to networkingtoday.com. On other postcards that I've done for copywriting services, I've done one side on how to know that you're hiring a great copywriter, what you need to look for in hiring a copywriter. But on the flip side, and of course, that side promotes me, but on the flip side, how to use the apostrophe or the ins and outs of quotation marks. Good information that people want to know so that they can use that over and over when they're writing their content for their websites or online or offline marketing. So they keep it. That's what you want to do. If you can hand them something at a trade show that will drive them to your website and hopefully good information that they'll want to keep so that they can find you later, that is the best thing that you can do. I was at, back in 1997, 98, when I first started my copywriting business, I created a series of postcards even back then. And they were set up so that different tips for copywriting, and people kept them. I've actually gone into some people's offices and I still see them posted on their bulletin board. It was my old logo. Things have changed, but not on how effective postcards work. There for a while, a lot of direct mail stopped working and people were using just the internet, everything online. Well, now we're inundated. There's too much online. Too many things are coming at us. And now there's the opportunity again for the direct mail. So you can either hand them, deliver them into a mailbox, or post them, and you're going to get a greater response. They do work as long as they are captivating, fascinating, and that they can give some education as well. So what is it about your business and your industry that people really want to know? What kind of questions are you hearing? That's the type of good information that you want to include on a postcard. Make it graphically pleasing so that it looks great, so it shows your professionalism. Your logo, of course, should stand out. The colors reflecting your brand, and that good content. If there are images, make sure that you own the images yourself. You can go to iStockPhoto.com, for example, and download some great images that you purchased so that you have the rights to use them. Just don't take anybody else's photos that you don't have the rights, because that can lead into all sorts of legal entanglement that you want to avoid. Best thing, get your camera out and take some own snapshots yourself so that you've got something that nobody else can use. So when you're talking to somebody at a trade show and you're just introducing yourself and people are walking by or they're coming up to the booth, you've got something that's light and easy that they can take with them. If the people are walking by and they don't look like they're interested, you can hand it to them, because even myself, I've been at different trade shows and I don't really want to go into every booth. I don't have the time. But if somebody would hand me the information, I would definitely look at it, especially if it's short, to the point, great headline that captivates my attention so that I do want to follow through and go to the website. This is where you can actually have a separate page on your website that you're directing them to, so you can really see how effective that particular postcard and that trade show was working for you. You might have something on that one page that is a total relationship to the event. You may have a special offer, a deal on a product or service that you offer, and it would be on that page as well. So your postcard should drive them back to that particular page. Postcards are also good if you're at a networking event. You can leave them out, give them a little bit more information than what a business card does, so pass them around freely. They are so cost effective. You can buy them online or at your local print shop. Just make sure that they're good quality to reflect your good brand. So thanks for sending that question. If you have a question about your marketing, please email it to me at susanregier.com. That's SusanRegier.com. And I'll answer yours on the next edition of Your Marketing Makeover.